Ray's Sports and Slams is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
Once again, we are back. Yes, we are back. Ray's Sports and Slams, brought to you by the great people over at Boink Studios, boinkstudios.com, where you can find us for all the latest and greatest sports entertainment every Monday. Also, follow Tom Clark's Main Event. You can follow Bachman's Basement. We have a lot of entertainment from music to sports to trivia and all the above pop culture. We cover it all. BoinkStudios.com. Please follow us. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. We definitely appreciate all your support. Let me bring my first compadre. He is the Director of Operations for the Joel Embiid Hater Society. He is the CFO of the James Harden Hater Society and the Senior Vice President of the Wemby Hater Society. This guy's got many jobs. Mack Garvin, what's up, sir?
What's going on, America? And as the Senior VP of Operations for the Wemby Hater Society, if I've had a brief discussion with him already, he's expressed humility of still being underweight and looking like skin and bones. But I'm thrilled to be here, America. We have a lot to talk about. We want to say, please like, share, and subscribe to Boink Studios.
Yes, indeed. And the third musketeer, he said, God bless you. And I said, why? And in 2 seconds, I sneezed because he is Nostradamus. Here he is, Walter Duncan. What's up, sir?
Oh, man. Now I'm going to have to hit on everything, Ray. Oh, man. What's up, guys? Glad to be back in the building with you guys and our listeners and our fans. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. We have a lot to talk about, dude. Again, I am excited. We have a lot of fans in the house. Jeff, what's up, brother? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. The first topic of the day, of course, we have to talk about it. The New York Knicks are the new NBA World Champions. I have a lot to unpack. So let me give you the topics, and I'm going to have Mack actually go first. Mack, the topics will be, what do you think of the Knicks win?
Okay.
What do you think of San Antonio? Do you see either team making any changes? Do you see any changes in players, any changes in coaches? And who would you give the blunt of the victory to for the Knicks, and who would you give the blunt of the loss to for the Spurs? And my final question, I hope you're writing this down. There's a lot.
I was going to say, you're going to have to tell them to me one at a time.
One by one.
I was good after number two.
Who's responsible for the Knicks win? Who's responsible for the Spurs loss? What do you think of the whole thing? And the fourth one would be, can you see the Knicks repeating next year? Mack, ball is yours.
Okay, all right. Well, America, first and foremost, I want to give a special shout out to Melanie Dean. Ray's wife is a diehard New York Knicks fan, unlike the guy who's wearing yellow right now with the ER letters in purple there. So hopefully he was respectful and supportive to his wife. We talk America all the time, and Ray this whole time is like, this is the most disgusting thing, puke, ever. So shout out to Miss Mel. So I'll start with the last question first. Do I think they have a chance to repeat? I think if the nucleus stays the same, yes. And the reason why I say this, and Stephen A. brought it up recently on his show he's on, we all knew early on in the season that the possibility of some trades being made. The concern was, let's ship Karl-Anthony Towns out the block, and the rumors were about Giannis. Is there a possibility he could go to the Knicks? We seen at the end they did not. Jalen Brunson, to his credit, made a decision. They talked about it all the time on all the sports networks of how he gave up $113 million for them to spread this paper around to other players to be able to sign other players. And they took some journeymans and got them to come to the team. So it worked. I think if they keep the focus of how they play team ball, everyone talks about a team. I mean, but there are some who got manufactured and put together. These were guys that were acquired by trade deadlines, and it's kind of at some point castaways from other teams, and brought them on, and they gelled and they understood. They got a coach who was also a castaway from a team that was winning. They brought Brown in, and the job was it's chip or bust, and everyone bought in. And that's the difference. When your captain, who is 6'2", says we can do this, if we play as a team, we have an opportunity to make some noise, we can win. And they all believed. And it was obvious this whole series, bro. The whole series. They were down points. They went on a 13-0 run in the playoffs. They're down 20-30 going in third, fourth quarter to the finals. To game 1 through 5, they were down by at least halftime on average of 15-20, and then rallied every time except for once to win the game. Some teams will mentally check out. If I'm down 29 points, brother, and it's fourth quarter, general consensus, it's over. Just like another guy from Minnesota, who shall remain nameless out of my mouth, decided to walk across the other side of the court and said, we're done. They did not do that. They had the wherewithal to win. So I think they have an excellent chance for next year repeating. What was the first question?
What would you contribute to the Knicks' victory, and what would you contribute to the Spurs' fall?
Okay, so as far as the Knicks' victory, I just kind of stated that. I'm going in reverse. It is the wherewithal and the ability to believe we can win this game, which it's one shot at a time.
I believe I can win.
Yes, those guys believed versus other teams would have folded. And they had the conviction to know. And listen, to their credit, they just set the blueprint and reference on how to beat the alien. Every team now, like Brunson was like, they call him big body. This guy played above the rim the whole series. And then we all saw in game 5, that brother, 45 points by himself, and the rest of the team scored 40. You can't tell me that man was not on a mission, and it didn't matter how tall he was. Go ask Mackay Bridge what he thinks of the alien. Didn't matter. I don't care you're 6'4". I mean 7'5". Now, the problem I think the Spurs ran into was this. I think is 100% lack of experience, y'all. Like, how do you come out at all 5 games, first quarter action, going up double digits while the Knicks was trying to still get it together? All 5 games. And halftime, with the exception of one, we're leading into halftime all 4 of the 5 games. And then fourth quarter, all of a sudden just collapse every game. I don't know how that's possible, but their coaches got them explained to do. What was the second question?
And I said, so you contribute to inexperience and the drive of the Knicks. And I said, do you think they were? It was a 3-part question.
Yeah. Definitely inexperience. It was inexperience for the Spurs, period. They just didn't know how to close. They just, and you're ahead, and they just let themselves fall apart. And it's unfortunate, man. Like that, they're going to learn. We only saw Wemby at press conference talking, but no one else I can visibly think of offhand had conversations. They would like to think that some of the players some of the reasons why the losses, but it's called a team sport. They all made bad choices. And what was the third question?
It's just 3 about, do you think they're going to repeat? And I said, what you contribute to the Spurs defeat and the Knicks victory.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And your overall thought of the whole series, I guess that would be the 4th.
Yeah. The overall vibe of the series, 53 years on the line. The Spurs have 5 of them. I mean, technically, the Knicks, whenever the Knickerbockers won, I think 70, then in 73, and 53 years later, they finally got their 3rd one. So all the credit to them. The city was a buzz. I talked about this last week of how the fan base reaction might be if they lost one of the games at the Garden, and it happened. A couple people got attacked. It's unfortunate. And I also made the comment, like, why would you not go into the bathroom, take the jersey off, put it in your pants pocket, ball it up or whatever, and then go home with a T-shirt on? It was a safety risk. And unfortunately, I also talked about this too. If they win this series, they're going to tear that city apart. America, they burnt the daggone bus. A bus in Center City. Like, why? What was the value of the bus? They upped to Philly. Philly only did a car. They flipped and torched a car in Philly. But these folks decided to tear up a school bus and burn it to the ground. Oh, it was crazy.
All right. Walt, now you have the ball. He just threw the rock to you. Go ahead.
So what's that on your your shirt, Ray? Oh, I thought it was Yellow Snow. My bad. Actually, let me stop.
Here we go.
Let me put some respect on the Lakers. My bad.
Thank you. Put a little respect.
So, what won the Knicks the series? It was definitely their heart, and that was like personified by Brunson, right? You know, he no matter how much he got banged up, he went down so many times in the series, right? You saw him on the floor injured, like getting no calls. Like the Spurs got away with so many bad calls this series. It's like the Knicks had to not only fight the physicality of the Spurs, they had to fight the bad calls of Scott Foster as well. You know what I'm saying? And so like I think for them it was their mindset and the we're not going to lose attitude that they had, right? For the Spurs, Mack hit the nail on the head there. It's their inexperience. They led for 72% of the series, and they still got a gentleman's sweep put on them, right? Think about that. How it doesn't compute, right? You lead for 72% of the series, and you still lose. That comes down to coaching. So they have a young coach who's inexperienced as well. They have a young roster that's inexperienced. The oldest person on the roster was Fox, and we saw the mistakes that he made, right? And so, like collectively as a team, they just like I think I mentioned this when they were playing OKC, and OKC had the Spurs on the ropes and had just blew them out at home, and OKC was over there like all rah and like laughing and joking around. I saw the Spurs do the same thing during that game when they were up 29 points. And in my head, I had a thought. I said, man, the Knicks are going to come back.
Wow.
And then I went to sleep and I woke up and I saw that the Knicks won. Because I didn't watch the rest of the game. I was just like, it's over. It might be over. But I had that thought, right? And then so I woke up. The Knicks had won that game. And that was just a testament to who they are. Like, so overall, this series was amazing. It brought back like the feels for me from when I was a kid, when I first started watching basketball with my father at home, and just like, especially when Jordan was in there, like the intensity of the series and how important it was and how that feeling felt. That was on the line for the Knicks fans. It's like I channeled that energy that every Knicks fan was holding in their hearts, right? Think about that. I kind of felt that.
Yeah,
and so
I feel you.
To your last question about should there be any changes or trades, right? If I'm the Knicks, I stick to this. Look, like they had the 4 guys that they had on Villanova, right? They had the 3 that are there: Hart, Brunson, and who else is it? Mikal Bridges. Right? They traded one of their boys, DiVincenzo, to Minnesota as a part of the
deal.
Cat trade. Right. And 2 years later, it's looking like that trade worked out. Right. So I think the Knicks have all the pieces in place. They're still a fairly young team. Right. They're going to compete next year. The Spurs, I think that they're one of the youngest teams in the league. This experience is probably going to make them better. So I think that the Spurs, they get like somebody else at point guard other than De'Aaron Fox. Maybe you get, I don't know who you get, but somebody better. I think you may have to get a veteran guy who's savvy and who's you. I don't know why you even said that. You just kind of made me like throw up in my mouth, man. But like you don't get Trae Young. You get like somebody who's savvy, a little bit older, who knows how to make the right play at the end of the game and draw a foul, and plays with his mind, right? So I think the Spurs can make a few changes, but I see them still competing. But kudos to the Knicks fans and the Knicks organization.
Facts, dude. All right. Yeah. Well, all right. Let me go. First, I just got a letter. It is from the Trae Young Hater Society. Congratulations, Walt. You are the new vice president. Applaud this man. Congratulations. He doesn't like Trae Young. I don't know why. Let me applaud you. Congratulations on your promotion. Congratulations on your new title. All right. Mack has given his opinion. Walt has given hers. Now it's time for the
hers.
Let me tell you what really happened, folks. Jalen Brunson played out of his mind. Kudos to Jalen Brunson. Dropped 45. He averaged 32. in this series. He's a beast. The Spurs blew double-digit leads in 4 of the 5 games. They've had historic flops, collapses, up 29, blew it. There's 2 reasons why the Knicks won. Heart, passion, Jalen Brunson, drive, determination, never quit attitude. I give it all to them. Shout out to my wife, Mrs. All Day. Your team won. Congratulations. You know, she's happy as a pig in mud. God bless you. Enjoy your victory. Let me tell you why the Spurs lost. You have a coach that couldn't differentiate between a circle and a square, Mitch Johnson, and you had a scrub named De'Aaron Fox. What did De'Aaron Fox do, folks? Well, let me tell you what De'Aaron Fox did. Let me give you his numbers. He averaged 12, 5, and 5 in this series. Those are great numbers for a scrubby bench player, not a starter. This dude shot 34% from the field. And let me tell you what he shot from 3. 25%. I can shoot 25% from 3, and I'm not in the NBA. De'Aaron Fox cost you this series. He played idiotic basketball, hog basketball, didn't know when to stop shooting threes. He basically just said, I want the Knicks to win, so I'm going to sabotage this series. De'Aaron Fox, you should move to Siberia. You should quit basketball because you are horrific. This is the most horrific NBA performance in the history of the NBA. I've said this last week, and I said it the week before. De'Aaron Fox is steaming hot garbage. He's the garbage that, when you had a meal and you're like, I'm done. I'm going to throw this in the garbage. We had enough. And you throw it in the garbage, and the garbage doesn't go out for another 2 days, and it's hot summer, and it stinks. That's De'Aaron Fox. Horrible, horrible, horrible playoffs. If Harper would have stayed in, if Harper would have taken De'Aaron Fox's minutes, San Antonio has at least would have made it to 6, maybe 7 games. De'Aaron Fox is hot, smelly garbage. Okay. He played horrific basketball.
No.
I've never seen such bad basketball in my life. I'm sorry. I call it facts. No. Y'all had leads 4 out of the 5 games. You can't tell me you couldn't win one of those.
They did win one.
You couldn't win 2 or 3 of those. Horrific. It wasn't like the Knicks were beating them every game or making it close every game. They were getting mollywopped every game. And what does De'Aaron Fox do? He thinks he's Steph Curry, jacking up threes, running up the court, jacking up threes. Johnson, hey, you know what? We're up 29. When you have the ball, I don't want to see you take a shot until there's 7-8 seconds left on that clock. What were they doing? Shooting the ball with 18 seconds left on the clock each possession. I watched it. Every possession. More than 18 seconds left on the clock. What are you doing? If you wanted the Knicks to win, just say, you know what? We don't want to play anymore. Congratulations, Knicks. Here's your ring. And it would have made my life easier because you played horrific. Now, in terms of them repeating, unless, God forbid, something happens and somebody gets hurt, I cannot see the Knicks not repeating in the East. However, I talked to 2 people today. My good friend God, and God spoke to my good friend Luka Doncic. Luka did not play in the playoffs because he was hurt. Now, when he is back, King Luka will take my team to the promised land. I'm telling you right now, it is Luka time. It is Luka time. Next year, we'll be talking about Luka's MVP. And this will be ring number 19 for the Lakers when they win this one.
I hope that happens. I hope that happens exactly like you said. But just so fans knows, and Matt can attest to this, you've been talking to God for a long time.
Bro.
And I don't know.
Maybe he's just getting to the Virgin Mary and just not reaching GLD.
No, I'm telling you, you will see. You will see. Y'all didn't think they were going to be Houston. And I said, have faith. Now, I knew they were going to be in OKC without Luka. But now, if Luka is 100% in the playoffs, you will see. You will see.
What if James doesn't come back? What's your answer then?
Oh, then we free up a lot of cap money. We could get Spider, and we definitely can win then. Either way, it's a win for us.
So what do you think of this as a possibility of Giannis going to the Lakers? There's no buzz. I'm just asking you.
Would I be happy if Giannis went to the Lakers and then LeBron retires or leaves?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's get. You know what they also should get? They should try to get Kyrie. I like him too. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of options. Laker Nation. I know people were upset because Luka got hurt, and we were steaming into the playoffs.
And
we were looking good.
Reeves is the answer.
Austin Reeves is going to get a 4-year max contract. Don't sleep on Austin Reeves. I know you're an Austin Reeves hater too. Let me read some comments before we go on. Jeff Peter, everyone thought OKC was a show to repeat, so I don't see the Knicks repeat. I agree with you, Jeff. Applaud that, man.
You know what? Okay, Jeff, you're right.
All right, Jeff. Maurice in the house. What's up, buddy? Defense and that New York hard work. We don't care how tall you are. Get this work. Okay. Yeah. I respect that.
These hands. Yeah.
Eric, what's up, my friend? Poofy ref game. Victory doesn't negate how bad the fishing was. We were lucky Brunson did not get seriously hurt. Just saying. Terrible refereeing. I do agree with you 100%.
There was 2 times where he especially in game 5 where he fell in between or whatever, and he should have been ejected for it. Yeah, and then that mush.
That's horrific. That mush in the head. Crazy.
Yeah.
Mr. Witt, Spurs are young, couldn't finish. They had no Ken Langston. I agree.
Thanks, Jazz. Appreciate that, brother.
Knicks' focus should be go through the draft. Spurs need to let Harper run. What did I say? I speak truth, my friends. I speak truth. Harper should run the point. Darren Fox, I told you. Siberia, Russia.
It's not just him, Ray.
Switzerland.
It wasn't just Fox.
It was all Darren Fox's. It was Darren Fox's fault, 100%.
How many exercises can you be a part of? Good.
Exactly. Ray's just talking to God. Ray's talking to making all these societies and stuff. Like, come on.
Now, man. America. I have I'm sorry. We got another. Okay.
No, that's not true. That's not
Love that, brother. Thank you very much. So, America, I do want to pose this question. I need y'all to chime in. I appreciate the chime ins. We're good. Obviously, their championship, as far as going down Canyon of Heroes, is Thursday. So if you're in the city, I would highly suggest you stay home. It's not going to be safe. But I'm going to pose this question to the fans. We've seen a lot of celebrities at all the games. If they allow a fan on the float to go down, now, just so everyone also knows too, all the players from years ago are all invited onto the parade. So that means like Ewing, Starks, Oakley, Mason, all these players are going to be allowed to come on the float to celebrate. I mean, of course, 94, they didn't get it done. But one thing I want to ask America is this, and I need everyone to chime in. Who do you think should be allowed on the float as a fan? All right.
That's a good question. All right, everybody chime in. All right. Before we go to our next question, hold on. My phone is ringing. Hello? Oh, it's Luca. Hey, you guys are going to win the West. And okay. Thank you, Luca. I appreciate you watching. Okay. That was Luca. He just said what I just told you. Our next topic is the World Cup. World Cup is in the house. It is soccer fever. Everybody's pumped up for this. I'm going to start this off. I'm going to tell you the 2 teams that I think will make it the furthest, in my opinion. And you guys can argue and give me your opinions. I will start first. I think Portugal has a shot. Why? Because they have a first-class talent. They have Fernandez. They have Silvia. They have Rafael. And, of course, they have Ronaldo. The only negative with Portugal is Cristiano Ronaldo is 41 years old. And in soccer, that's like 94. So age could be a factor. You know, you're going up and down the soccer court. He's in phenomenal shape, and he's one of the greatest to ever do it. However, I think the age could be a factor at the end. So I feel like, you know, he may get them to a certain point, but 41 is 41, and soccer is not a sport that, you know, you could play at such an advanced age and be that effective, in my opinion. I could be wrong. My main pick is my guy, Lionel Messi, in Argentina. I think they can repeat. I think Messi's got the drive and the heart. I think he's a winner. And I think this team's defensively and offensively is just set. So it would take a lot. I think someone drastic would have to get hurt on offense. Messi, God forbid, would have to get hurt. Something like that. But I think this team is so locked in. I've watched, you know, them practice. I've seen some of their games. So I'm going Portugal is my dark horse. Argentina is my favorite. All right, Walt, who do you have as your dark horse? Who do you have as your favorite? And then we'll go to Mack.
Oh, so dark horse. I'm gonna go with our boys like the USA.
Okay, I respect it
and stuff. But Look, the teams I think are going to be in the final, depending on how everything plays out. I think it's going to be Argentina, and surprise pick is probably Germany. With how they're looking like offensively and how they're flowing and how how they've been playing, how they looked in the Euros, and how they're continuing to just like be in sync. Look, anything can happen in the World Cup. We've seen teams lose in the first couple of weeks and then come back to win the whole thing. I think that happened with Brazil. One of the recent World Cups, right? They lost a game and then just went to run it. So I do want to say that if the Lakers play anything like Ray spells world in the World Cup, they're gonna lose. All right, that's it.
All right, Mac. Who's your wild card and who's your favorite?
So in the World Cup,
World Cup. Oh my God, I gotta get my spelling right. Let me fix this right now. I can't. Oh my God. All right, let's go. I still spelled it wrong.
The Lakers.
I'm so Lakered out.
That's how I feel about the Lakers. They can't steal their way out of a bag either.
All right, go ahead.
There it is. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So for me personally, this is kind of a toss-up for me, man. There's so many good teams. Like right now, some of the vibe right now, I'm thinking between Spain and France. Like, you know what I mean? Like France has got a strong European squad, man. I'm just kind of out of world's end. I mean, listen, Spain made it to the champs in the Euro in 2024. Yeah, I mean, they were the champs. So don't get me wrong. Like, I hear you with Argentina. I'd love to see Messi do his thing again. But just like you mentioned, Ray, age is going to be a factor for all of them. Like Messi, as great as he is, if you guys look up his contract deal for the team he plays for in the U.S., that guy made some great decisions. And I'll share information about that if we have time. But between them, I would love to see Argentina repeat. It is hard to do because it's every 4 years. That's the difference. And last time Messi was on top of his game, 4 years later, age-wise, is a factor. You're right. These guys sprint. They have the best cardio conditioning. I'm kind of right. I'm kind of vibing with Walt Wood. I'm a USA homer. I mean, they have a chance. I don't know exactly if they're going to do much. We historically have not, for whatever reason why, but we'll see. So I'm going to go with my gut. I think Spain's going to win it.
Okay.
Call me what you want. I just think they've got more opportunity just because they won the Euros in 2024.
All right. I will say this. Messi is younger. He's only 38, which is still old in soccer. But it's not 41. That's why I think Portugal will have a problem. 41 that's to Ronaldo's credit. Like I said, he's in phenomenal shape, but he's 41. 41 is 41. Okay, how you slice it. 38 is no spring chicken in soccer either, but I think he's got enough Robins on his team, that he could survive it. I think, he's a leader. He's got it, and you know what? We still say Maurice has got my back. That's how the king spells it. That's right. Thank you, Maurice. God bless you, my friend. I love you. All right. That's right. All right. I like it. Spain had a 0-0 tie with Cabo Verde. Crazy joke is saying that coach has never been in the tournament. Wow, Spain.
Okay. All right. Yeah. But again, a tie is a tie. When soccer is different, it can be 0-0.
But it comes to points, so that can mean something. But a tie is better than a loss.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Soccer is such a sport. For world sports, it's hard to pick USA to win. Yeah, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard. But you know what? We will say, I love USA. USA's got a good team. I do, think that they could make some noise. I just feel like I said, I would love to see Argentina repeat. It hasn't happened. If it has, it's been forever. Mm-hmm. So, you guys correct me on that. I can't remember the last time a World Cup team repeated. So if it has, it's probably been, it's got to be decades from now. Maybe one of those Maradona teams. But Brazil, how long ago was that?
Brazil.
58 and 62.
Yeah. So look how long it's been, dude. So that's what I'm saying. It'd be nice. And Argentina has a lot of the same players as they did when they won that chip. So we shall say. We're going back to basketball. And the New York Liberty has won 7 straight, and they clinched a spot in the Commissioner's Final Cup. Kudos to them. Brianna Stewart, who I like a lot too, had 14, 12, and a career-high 7 blocks to help New York Liberty beat the Washington Mystics 86-84 on Sunday, clinched a spot in the Commissioner's Cup. Miss Jones had 17 of her 20 points in the second half to lead Liberty. We're 10-4 and won 7 straight. Brianna Stewart's averaging 19 and 5. They're legit. I think they're a good team as well. I will start with Mack. What do you think of them getting into the Commissioner's Cup? Do you give that any credence? And do you see Liberty actually doing something this year in general for the WNBA?
Well, I mean, call it karma, call it what you want. The Knicks won the midseason championship, and I clowned them to death. I'm like, these guys won that thing as if it was the title. I'm like, they haven't smelled the title, and they won. So New York Liberty winning the Commissioner's Cup, if this is the precedence.
No, they clinched a spot in it now.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, in the Commissioner's Cup. I mean, like, if they win it, will I be surprised? No, I will not be surprised, because I think this is momentum of destiny going on with them, or whatever you want to call it. Liberty won it last year. How about that? So this is one of them deals where I'm just saying to myself, kudos to them as a team. And the reason why we're talking about it is because obviously the Knicks just won the title. There's other teams that are that's in the Commissioner's Cup. But we're talking about it because it's New York right now. But 7 straight wins is impressive. Again, it's early in their season.
Of course.
So
it's very, very early. All right, Walt, what you got?
So look, they're obviously a good team. I think they won the overall championship in 2024. The Aces won it last year. So they're definitely a good team. And they're getting Ionesco back as well. So could they absolutely compete? Could they, run their division or their side of the things? Sure, they absolutely have a chance. But there's a lot of good teams, right? There's a lot of good teams with a lot of good records. Minnesota's looking good. The Aces are looking good. There's a lot of great teams that are playing well right now, right? So I'm excited to see what happens. Do I think that this matters? Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it might give them some type of motivation, to say, hey, we won the midseason championship. Now let's go for the end of season championship. So, kudos to them winning without their starting point guard, by the way.
Yes.
Being on the roster. So they absolutely, the Liberty have a shot.
All right. I agree with both your points. I think it's a good win for them. I think they have a good shot of winning this cup. Do I think they could win the whole thing? It's going to be hard based on the fact that, to Walt's point, there's so many good teams right now. Aces are very good. Phoenix is good. There's a lot of good teams. The competition is very, very fierce. But, anything is possible. Like I said, the team is nasty. I like their heart. They play well. They play team ball. So who knows? I would not be surprised if it's a double New York championship. You know what I mean? We shall see. But the girls look good. 7 straight is no joke. I don't care what sport it is. Winning 7 in a row is winning 7 in a row. So
absolutely,
I give them all the credit in the world. We shall see. Would I hang the Commissioner's Cup trophy or banner in the stadium? No. But would I celebrate and take that money? Yeah, why not? It is what it is. Sticking with hoop, we have another story, and it's Mr. Thiago Splitter. Yes, he is the new coach for the Chicago Bulls. He played 7 seasons in the NBA as a 6'11" center. Known for fundamental defense, passing. He played for about 7 seasons. He was a 28th pick in 2007. He played 7 seasons from 2010 to 2017, averaged basically 7, 5, and 12. 7, 5, and 2. Good, decent player. I think this is a good move just because the Bulls need something. I don't know how long this will last, but at the end of the day, I feel like he could help them to some extent because he has NBA experience. Do I think that the Bulls are going to be world beaters regardless? No. But, he could add a little different view he could add a European flair to the game, something, right now the Bulls are on life support. Maybe he could take those paddles and give him a little jolt. Who knows? Maybe get him into a play-in game or something, but I'm not expecting much. I'm glad he got a shot. I don't know why some other coaches with more coaching experience didn't get a shot. That's another story for another time, but I'm not going to hate on him for getting his opportunity. He got it. Kudos to him. We see what happens. All right, Walt, what you got?
Look, yeah, like you said, kudos to Thiago. He has experience as a player. He had some experience overseas. I think he was a head coach of a Paris team that won the French championship in 2024-2025 season. So he has that winning experience from a coaching perspective, I guess. He took over last year in October when Chauncey Billups got put on leave because of the whole situation that happened. So, he took over that team and he led them to the playoffs, right? They made it through the play-in, even though they got mollywopped in the first round. You know what I'm saying? They made it through the play-in and everything. So I think there's enough there that teams saw with him and his experience and how he approaches the game for the Bulls to take a shot on him, right? And so, look, the Bulls are, one of those teams that are in rebuild mode, right? They're rebuilding right now. They're going to try to hopefully get some, get a roster together and see what happens. So I think they're going to give him a couple of seasons to a few seasons to see what he can do, see how they build the team around him and see if he can take this team and make them compete, right? I think they're going to have to try to give him some type of fair shake though, right? Because right now I'm thinking about the Bulls roster. I cannot think of one superstar that they have on the roster right now. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Fans help me out. I don't know who the number one guy is on the Bulls right now. But
I don't either.
In order for Thiago and the Bulls to have success, they need to get the Bulls need to get somebody, their guy, in there as well. They got the coach. Now get him his player.
All right, Mac, what you got?
I'm just gonna kind of piggyback on both your comments, but the only difference for me is why was Jason Kidd even interviewed? Because that guy's got a hell of a more experience than Thiago Splitter. You're right, bro. EuroLeague 2024, good for you. That's Euro. This is US. Two different forms of ball altogether. However, Euro ball is centered more around fundamental playing as a team versus here. Unfortunately, AAU leagues is me. It's not team, and so these kids go to college and now NIL, it really becomes about them. So unfortunately, the experience for US players, it's always been about them as individuals. Unlike European leagues, it's pretty much team effort ball. And that's where Thiago's got experience. Good luck trying to do that here in the US with these guys. I just think that Jason Kidd, I don't know if he got an interview. I think he's more deserving as an opportunity as a head coach with more experience in the United States coaching than Thiago. Thiago was a decent player. He was not a champion as a player, unlike Jason Kidd. So my thing is you want me, okay, I'm a Chicago fan. You want me to be convinced of our new head coach named Thiago Splitter. What? Splendid? What is his name? Yago, what is his name? That's not going to make me go to a game. Jason Kidd gives opportunity, at least. Well, do we know we can win with him? But you're right. You don't have any players on your team that are outright stars or in the development or in the process of turning the corner. So you're right. It's 100% rebuild. So we'll see what happens, it's Jason Kidd. He was with the Mavs last. We saw how it went down. They lost talent. They let it walk out the door. What do you want him to do? And so they fired him. Oh, wow.
All right. Here's my thought as well. And I'm going to piggyback off Mac. I agree with what you're saying about Thiago. He basically, to Walt's point as well, he's getting this job because he piggybacked off Chauncey's mess up and at least got them into the playoffs. So I don't know if that's a reward for hey, thanks for sticking with us through all this drama with the Bulls, this gambling scandal. We'll look at this team and see what happens. But to Mack's point, I don't know why Jason Kidd didn't at least get a look over. You know, I think Jason Kidd is a hell of a coach. I don't know why he didn't get at least a look over. Do you believe, Walt, it's strictly because, like I said, he stuck around through all the Bulls' bull, so to speak, or because Jason Kidd just didn't want the job? Like, what are your thoughts? I want to get your opinion on this.
I think Jason wants to win, right? That's my opinion. Right? Why? Like, I understand, you know, being a coach is just a coach, but I don't think Jason. I don't see that in his makeup. I don't see Jason as somebody who just wants to go someplace and just coach guys just because he wants to coach guys, right? I think he wants to go to a place where he's going to have the chance to compete. We saw what he did when he had a superstar on his team. He had Davis, Doncic, and Kyrie, and he took those boys to the finals, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, and he had that team. So I think that's what Jason's going to be looking for, the right situation for him to have a shot to compete. That's the only thing. The teams that are currently open right now for head coaching positions, they're not, like, right now on paper, those teams are not going to compete for anything.
Facts. That's a valid point. Do you agree with him, Mack?
Yeah. I mean, now that he puts that spin to say, like, maybe they did offer and he said no. Like,
who knows? Good
like
point.
You know, it's speculation, but I think Walt is making an excellent observation. This guy wants to go to a team that's contending.
So that gets him an applause.
Yeah. Team that's contending, they're not looking for a coach either. So I don't know what he wants. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Knicks are not firing their coach because you're Jason Kidd. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, OKC is not firing their coach. Like, what? Let's define contending. But I understand what Walt is saying. Like, if you're, you know, like the Utah Jazz, do they have anyone? They got a roster, but are they going to do anything? Well, it's going to be too much work. There's teams, you know, Sacramento Kings. Who wants to coach that pile? Like, you know, so I
would be a good coach for Orlando Magic team that has a lot of promise. The guy could do something.
Yes.
A team like that. I don't think he would take that job. To Walt's point, he probably would like to coach like the Boston Celtics or the Pistons or a team like that. I hear you. I agree with you. I hear you. Let's get to some comments. I want people to think we're forgetting you guys. Jason Kidd wants to go to a ready and made Olympics team. Well, you know what? That's the second applause. Jeff, this is for you, my friend. Great part. I cannot hate on that comment. You know, you're right. You know, he definitely probably wants to win. So I agree with you. All right, we're going to switch and go to football. And NFL has finally closed its personal conduct review for Stephon Diggs. Took forever, but the NFL has closed its review of a wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, after determining there was insufficient evidence of personal conduct policy violations. And Schuster discussed this on Friday. The decision comes after the former New England wideout was found not guilty of assaulting his private chef in a pay dispute. Diggs has pleaded not guilty in February to a felony strangulation charge and misdemeanor. So now he's ready to go. All right. I think, believe it or not, because it's the NFL where apparently his craziness is all good in the hood, I think he will actually end up somewhere. I think a team will scoop him up. He's still a decent receiver. He's not a number one, but he could be a solid number two or a quote, maybe 2B-ish type of receiver, maybe a 3. But, you know, team like the Jets, who already STINKS, maybe they could use someone like him. There's a lot of teams that could probably use him because he's not washed by no means. I think he still has a little bit left in there. So I think he will get picked up. I think the NFL is a lot more lenient with this type of stuff. I'm not going to say if I think he's guilty or not. That's not for me. The courts have made the decision. So you go with that. But, you know, Stephon Diggs, I wish you all the best. I do think he will end up somewhere. Mack, do you think Stephon Diggs will end up somewhere?
Yeah, absolutely, man. He's still talent. Like, you know, you're saying maybe 2B, C, D, you know, or third receiver. I think he could be a number one. You're right. With the Jets, he could be a number one. They don't have anybody. Okay. We're gonna
Max on fire.
Yeah, you know what? Because I think this is a situation where he got a bad rap. And you're right. he was like, listen, that's not what happened. I'm going to fight this. And he won. But he did take a risk of Roger finally making a decision to say, I'll hear you out, and then find out information and found out it was not factual enough for them to try and, sideline this guy for 4 or 5 games for no reason. So kudos to him. And obviously he will be mindful of who he pays as far as a chef, or start taking some cooking classes. Or you know what I'm saying? Or start being a DoorDash king during the season and off season.
Dude, I can't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's learn from our bad choices, apparently. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's going to get it. He's going to have to get some money because his girlfriend is expecting his kid. So I don't know how many he has already, but Cardi B is expecting a baby by him. So he needs all the paper he can get. He will play for a team and be a productive player as long as
he has the DoorDash app.
Well, for as long as he does not make a scene on the sideline that becomes public, like 2 years ago.
He did. Okay, facts. All right, well, you can wrap this up.
Look, to me, this is a slam dunk. It's easy, right? Yeah, Stephon Diggs, is he going to get another opportunity? Yes, he's supremely talented. Think about this. He came off of a season where he had an ACL to have a 1,000-yard receiving season after the injury, right? So,
facts.
Most people don't do that. He did it, right? So, he's still capable as long as he's healthy. I think this guy has a shot. And so I'm going to give you 3 of the best landing spots that I think he might go to. Right, he's I think he's from the DMV area, like Washington, Maryland area, Virginia area. So I can see him going to the Commanders, right? Pairing him with McLaurin, right? Having a monster out there because Deebo Samuel is no longer there, right?
Yes, he's not.
He's gone.
Yeah, so that's the potential for him to go, right? I think that the Baltimore Ravens could use someone like Diggs, right? They have Zay Flowers and a couple other guys that I don't know, right? And so
Zay Flowers and the Pips.
Yes, Zay Flowers and the Pips. And I think that would be another great outlet for Lamar, right? And the last team is probably going to be a little bit much, but I think they're going all in. And if they have the money to make it work, no.
Oh, okay.
The freaking Rams.
Woo!
Make him the number 3 guy behind
Wow.
Puka is a question mark right now, too. What is he?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That guy's got issues.
Oh, so, Nakua?
Yeah,
he's got some biting issues.
So pick him up, go all in. You already went all in on the defensive side, go all in, on the offensive side. You have some guys. Tutu Atwell's gone. You lost some other guys. Bring Diggs in as the number 3 receiver, and let Stafford have a time.
Wow.
I am not mad at that. I do think this. I think if he wants to be a number 1, and he's pig-headed, that's where it'd be the problem. If he's okay being a 2, or mid 2-3 type of receiver, where he's not gonna be the number 1 target on every play. Yeah, he will land up somewhere because there's no way you're going to take Stafford's favorite target, my man Adams, from his spot. So I love the Rams idea because the Rams are good. And if they get Diggs, it's already a wrap because they have the sickest defense now on the planet. Now with this offense, forget it. If Puka could kind of chill out for a minute and, get Diggs, that's a good call. I do like Baltimore too. Lamar needs another receiver. He needs another receiver. And Stephon is willing to play too. He cannot be Flowers. He got to say, push Zach Flowers to the side. I want to be the number 1 guy. He's not. He's come off ACL. He had 1,000 yards to Walt's point. But he's 31-ish, 32-ish? 32. In NFL, that's what, Mack? Mack is the calculator for NFL.
That's 63.
63. That's right. We just did the math. That's 63 in wide receiver years. So he's 63. So that's tough, dude. Do you agree with me, Mack, or do you think he will just be a number 1 somewhere?
You're right, man. If he can accept his role, if he comes to a team, okay. So we're talking about the Rams. Yeah. If Puka is back and on the field starting week 1, just know you're the 3rd option. Can you handle that, or will money trump your thought process. If they pay you and pay you under, listen, we're a contending team. You can go play for the Browns if you want to and never smell a playoff. And that's why, other players leave there. So, like, if he can understand, like, we can bring you in, but this is the most we can pay you. Do you want to, yes or no? And then if he's like, nah, I want to be number one guy. Okay, that means you don't want to win a Super Bowl then. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be an understood if they talk to him and their GM can figure out some way. We're not going to, it's not going to be like league minimum, but at least some decent dollars and give you a 2-year maybe or a 1-year deal to audition for another team if you want to try somewhere else and pay you just $7 million for a year. Would I do it? Absolutely, because they have an opportunity to win. And at this point, he smelled it with Buffalo, but they couldn't figure it out.
All right, before I go to Walt, if he goes to the Rams, you're going to remember you have Puka, you have Devontae Adams. So you have to be a third. There's no way you're going to take Devontae's spot. Yeah. You're not taking Puka's spot. So, yeah, in that scenario, in Walt's world, you'd have to be, like Mack said, you'd have to be willing to swallow your pride. Do you want a ring or do you want to be the man? Walt, go ahead, brother.
Look, no, you guys are absolutely right. If I'm Diggs and I'm on the older side, I'm 63 in dog years or NFL years.
and receiver years.
Yeah,
Mack is our
years,
official NFL receiver running back calculator. So for this season, he will tell you how old you are.
And if I want to get a ring, I'm taking my keister to the Rams. Somebody else did it. So we got a ring that we don't talk about. OBJ. He went to the Rams. Got a ring. It was
yes,
Puka.
He did.
I don't know if Puka was there just yet, but it was Cup who was balling out.
Who was the guy? Cup was the man that year. Yeah, for that.
And the OBJ came in there as a support valve.
Yeah, right? But he got hurt. He didn't even play in the chip game. I think it was like 2 weeks before, whatever. He got hurt.
No, he got hurt in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, he got hurt. He was starting. He was going to have an MVP game.
Yeah, he was balling out.
Yep.
Balling out his brain.
Yep.
All right. We're switching to baseball, and I have to talk about this. We talked about this off air. I watched some of the highlights of this. This is one of the greatest games I've seen in a long time. I'm a big baseball guy. 24-year-old Jason Mizorowski pitched the game of his life, probably one of the best games of this decade. He pitched a one-hit shutout, 15 strikeouts, while throwing, yes, folks, 95 pitches and facing a minimum of 27 batters. This was one of the games of the decades. This guy brought it. This guy is having a sixth season right now. Kudos to him. Kudos to baseball for letting this guy and the Brewers let this guy actually pitch this game. You didn't bring in a middle relief guy. You didn't bring in a closer. You let this guy do his thing, and I'm happy for him. Will you see another one of this season? Walt, I will go to you first. I'd say no. I don't think you will because, we had this conversation last week. Now, like I said, there's a middle reliever, there's a closer. Why would I let my guy go 9? But the fact that he threw 95 pitches, I think was probably a factor. But could you see another team saying, hey, maybe we should let this guy, he's coasting. He's at, 85, 90 right now. He's in the 7th inning. Maybe we should let him go the whole 9.
Man, I think we're seeing, a superstar in the making, right? Like, didn't he just break the record for like the fastest pitch as well? Yes, like almost 105 miles per hour.
105.
104.5. But yeah,
I'm gonna say 105. Okay.
Look, like he's already in some elite company, right? Like I think he's the third pitcher since the 1900 to record at least 15 strikeouts and allow no more than like one guy on base. Yeah, shutout, right? So I think the only other 2 people were Kershaw and Scherzer.
I was going to say, Scherzer did. I know the other guy was Kershaw. Okay, that makes sense. And he only faced 27 batters.
Yes. So look, I think that when you ask the question, are we going to see this again in this season? Man, it hardly ever happens so much like that. I'll be amazed if it did. It's like, oh my God, it would be like kudos to him in the game of baseball if it does happen, because it would bring so much more excitement to the game. But I don't know if we'll see this again in the same season. I hope we do, but I don't think so.
Okay. Mack, what you got?
This is a piggyback from a conversation last week, America, where I talked about the evolution of the game. We talked about the idea of this mid-relief pitcher, and Ray was like, I hate it. However, this is bringing up the point that I discussed. These guys are pitching faster, and the issue is going to be this. Will we see it again this season? Probably not. If anyone, it would maybe him, but I guarantee you this kid is not playing the following game because of the stress. Now, mind you, age, he is 24. If he was 34, he wouldn't be able to do this. We know that for a fact. You can be strength and conditioning, muscle redirect, recovery, eat all the right protein, but I know for a fact he did not play the next game because of this feat that he did, because it takes a lot out of you. Like averaging 94, 95 miles every pitch across the mound, where there are some guys who don't hit that as a peak during their season on a consistent basis. Every now and then you get some other guys who pitch 80, 90, 95 cap and can't get a 95 again for the rest of the night. You know, it's more 90 plus mile an hour balls that are happening now, like we talked about last week. But this kid was, you know, he ate his Wheaties, as the expression goes, and he ate all the right nutrition for the game. But 24 is his age, which definitely helped him. I just don't think we'll see it again. It all had to line up, and his body was 100% right, and rhythm and focus.
But the fact that he only threw 95 pitches, because most of these one-hit shutout games or two-hit shutout games are no-hitters, you're usually throwing over 100, maybe 110. I know Johan Santana for the Mets pitched one. He threw like 121 pitches. Mm-hmm. You know, there's been some other, you know, complete games where you're throwing over 100. He only threw 95 pitches. He will start his next game because obviously you start every 5 games. It's a 5-man rotation. Some teams have 6.
Okay, all right. Well,
sometimes have 6. So he'll start again because he only threw 95. But my point to Walt and Mack is, you know, the fact that they let him go, I'm surprised that they didn't say, oh, we're super cautious. We don't want him to get hurt. They said, you know what? This dude at that point, you know, in the 8th inning, he's probably through like maybe 85-ish. Like, you know what? He's not even close to 100 yet. Let this guy just keep pitching. You know, if he had thrown maybe 105 or 106 pitches in the 8th inning, maybe things would be different. But the fact that, again, he only got to 95 for the whole game says a lot. So, Walt, do you think like that was the overriding factor, or you think they just said, you know what, let this guy just rip it?
No. I think that was the overarching factor, of course. Like 95 pitches, you know, most guys, if they play 9 innings, they're gonna throw, you know, well over that if they go all the way. So, like, I think he didn't throw that much. You know, I think the only concern to Mack's point is, you know, the velocity at which he throws.
Facts.
That it can take a lot out of somebody's body. Yes, he's young. He's like 23, 24 years old. So he could probably withstand it.
He just turned 24.
Yeah, and I'm sure that, you know, he has a nice little physical, like, exercise regimen and keeps his body healthy and stuff like that. But look, I think, you know how, you know, some in sports sometimes, you know, when a guy just has it going, you just let him go, right?
Yeah.
And you have to just do that and get out of the way. But I think they have to be responsible with this guy and, you know, and manage him correctly. And not just like, you know, waste his youth and his talent, you know, because you get excited about what he can do. You got to use him smart.
Facts. Before I go to Mack, and then we'll close this topic out, the fact, again, that he only threw 95 pitches says a lot, because to Walt's point and what I said before, most complete games, if you look at the average, and I'm sure, you know, Duncan's data will tell you this, you're throwing well over 105, 110 pitches in a complete 9-inning game. You know, like I said, Santana threw 121. I remember the game. I'm a diehard Met fan. So it's kudos to him. He was throwing a lot of strikes. He wasn't getting a lot of 3-2 counts. He was probably, you know, just in a zone. To throw those little amount of pitches in 9 innings is incredible to me. You don't see it a lot. So I feel like if he had hit a higher number, I would hate to say that he 100% would have been taken out for the closer, but who knows? I mean, Mack, do you think they would have given him a leniency to a certain pitch count, or do you think they were like, you know, he's cooking, let's let him go?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both, because we all know there's an analytics guy on call, speed dial or text instantly. Where is he at? You know, the skipper is aware, like he has to be aware because of where we are in baseball. But on the same token, even if someone would have radioed to him, he's out about at the cap, you should pull him, and he's seeing his last strike come across the mound. Nah, I'm gonna let him go. So I think it's definitely 100% a coaching decision. You know, he sees what this kid's doing and figuring out, and then like, you know, I mean, that's the coach's job. Walk up to the mound, take a look at him. You know, how you feeling, buddy? I got it, coach. Okay. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go back to this box then. Like, you know what I mean? Versus sometimes a coach knows you've had enough. You know what I mean? And then we'll sit them based on that. You know what I mean? So I think that was some of it, but I know now the way sports is, analytics is everything. There's someone who can tell him instantly, anytime he asks, where is he at? He's at 105.
Yep.
He's at 100.
Well, I'm going to let you close this out. What do you think?
So no, Mack is right. Like, look, most guys pitch 5 to 6 innings now, and during that time they pitch they throw a number like a number of about 90 to 100 pitches in 6 innings, right? So if you add 3 more innings to that, and let's say you face 3 to 5 batters each inning, you're gonna throw a lot more pitches. So the fact that Mizorowski only threw 95 pitches in 9 innings, so you divide that. You really divide that by 9. What that's a little under 10, a little over 10 in the inning, right?
That's insane.
So that's crazy. So if he can sustain that level, then sure, let him go the whole, you know,
because he's throwing 90% strikes at that point. You got to look at that. If he's throwing 11 pitches, because you need 9, a perfect inning would be 9 strikes. Okay, so if he's averaging 10 or 11. He's throwing maybe 1 or 2 balls to 3 batters. That to me is insane. Like I said, folks, I can't emphasize how insane that is. The fact that he was averaging 11 pitches an inning, dude, he's throwing, not only to Max point, he's throwing 100 plus miles an hour. He's throwing strikes. So you can't even see it. It's a strike. So it's like, I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, our last topic. I will kick this off. UFC Freedom 250. All right. I'm going to say my piece, and then I'm going to let Mack and Walt end this out. All right. First to Josh Hokett. Dude, I don't know what you're thinking, what you said. I don't care what side of the fence you're on, dude. You don't disrespect the First Lady. I don't care who she is, what you think of her. Show a little respect, show a little class. Now, karma's a you-know-what, because your goal was to fight for the heavyweight title. And the main event was Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. In Utopia, you wanted Alex Pereira to beat Cyril Gane so you could get a title shot. Dana White was hoping that Alex Pereira was going to beat Cyril Gane, so Alex Pereira could be in the main event and fight, Mr. Hokett, and life is beautiful. But unfortunately, karma is a you-know-what, and Alex Pereira got the living bejeebins beat out of by Cyril Gane in 2 rounds. And for those who don't follow UFC, John Bones Jones beat the bricks out of Cyril Gane in less than 90 seconds. So now Dana White has to pucker up and kiss him Jones' butt and beg him to fight Cyril Gane again for the heavyweight title, because there's no incentive right now. If Pereira would have won, then you're like, I don't need John Jones. I have my main event heavyweight title fight now. But everything went wrong that could have gone wrong at Freedom 250 went wrong. You paid $60 million for this whole extravaganza and only raised $30 million. Me and Mack and Walt had this conversation. You had this during the NBA Finals where the Knicks are playing. There are people in Kenya who are watching the Knicks. What were you thinking? I don't know. I am done. Woosah. Mack, the floor is yours, brother.
I'm going to piggyback off what Ray just said with Bones Jones. You know, you're right. This guy the guy who won, he's already beat already. Why should I want to come back? And full disclosure, America, Jones is no longer in UFC. He joined parties and joined with what's the guy's name?
Paul's fighting company.
So it would be a huge draw. Now, this was the first time in the White House in decades, also to a sporting event. Dana White leveraged it all, and they really lost. I'm just like Ray just mentioned. It is unfortunate. It was Sunday. However, the Knicks just won the title Saturday, and America was watching. So every sports broadcast network service talked about the chip and 53 years. I just don't think their audience was lost because of all the sports hangover from the Knicks winning. It's unfortunate, but on the same token, too, this is the best people he had on his fight card, and it's just America wasn't tuned in. That's why they didn't make a lot of money.
And what do you think of Josh's comments?
Yeah, Josh's comments. You're an idiot. I don't know if we can sit on it, but you made bad choices with your words, and now you got to eat this thing that's called crow. We call it pie here, but he's eating a lot of crow, and he just made bad choices, man. Like you should just shut your mouth and hop in the ring, and if you'd have lost, then it wouldn't have been bad. But you talking and before and then lose after, that made it worse.
Yeah, you lost your money fight. You lost your money, and he called Alex Pereira out after the win.
Yeah.
And he basically put the form on that. And hoping, like I said, that Pereira was going to win that fight. And the fact that he didn't, every domino just went wrong. Walt, I'm sorry. Go ahead, my friend.
No, both of you guys, you guys brought good arguments. I'm going to speak to Hokit first, right? Like that guy, I think he just needs to, no matter what side of the fence you swing on politically or whatever, what your beliefs are, some things are just better left unsaid. You can say whatever you want at your house, or amongst your friends or whatever. I think that it's just the climate we're in. People are, emboldened to say whatever they want to say, be damned the consequences, right? Dana White did come out and say some stuff about it. So condemning those tones and stuff like that. I agree with you, Ray, that, let alone the president, the first lady, right? Let alone this, disparaging her or putting her down. Like, you shouldn't say that about any man's woman,
anyone's wife,
right? Anybody's woman. I don't care, right? No.
So, I totally agree with you there. I think that, he did bet the house on Alex, and who I would like to see fight Hokit? John Bones Jones. He can beat the brakes off of him. That's what I would like to see.
Brakes out of him. Oh my God, it wouldn't even be close.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be close. But how is karma? I mean, this dude was on top. He beat Lewis convincingly. Kudos to him. He did win that fight. But he's calling Alex Pereira out. I'm like, excuse me, dummy. Those two haven't fought yet. Why are you calling a guy out that didn't even fight yet? That was the main event. Yeah. I don't understand your thinking and your logic. You call somebody out after they actually had fought and won. Yeah. You're assuming Pereira was going to win.
Yeah.
And I just don't know why you would do that. Mack, what was his thinking? Was he drunk? Was he just high on stupid? What was
because of the hype machine of the event and his experiences, why he thought he was going to win. Why would you call someone if you think they're going to lose? You know what I mean? That's why Pereira got called out. I understand why, because if you do it after the fact, well, it's easy to ask after the fact. But making a bold prediction, talking trash before, and then they lose, well, it kind of loses esteem to have a conversation. Why would I want to fight the loser? So I mean, it was just bad time. He should have waited till after, walked into the ring and made a mess, or you know what I mean?
Call out Cyril Gahn after the fight, exactly.
Yeah, do it after at the press conference, after come up and start talking trash and shove, and then you know what I mean. Then it makes the news real. Did it work? You know what I mean? Then that would help his cause, to try and for a title match. So it was just not good planning on his part with his PR team.
Well, I'm gonna let you close this out.
No, look, you guys are right. I think that, I don't think he's gonna, lose. He might lose some sponsorships over what he said. UFC doing this. I think it was, I don't remember the White House doing an event like this. It seems kind of crazy to me that we're holding sporting events at the White House. But look, I understand that they're trying to generate, viewership and stuff like that. They still haven't put out the numbers. Dana White did say that it was a huge success, but I think he also said that he won't do it again.
Yes, he said he will not do it again. Well, losing $30 million will probably make you not do it again.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think it had to do with the viewership. To your point, to both your points, the Knicks and Spurs finals, it was the most watched finals since 1998. So almost 30 years ago, it's like, so that viewership was up year over year by over 100%, almost 20%. It was up. So yes, they were up against that machine, and it definitely impacted their viewership as well.
But my last point, and I want to just reiterate this, and then we're gonna end this. If I win the fight, okay, I know Pereira's fighting Cyril Gane. To Mack's point, let them fight and then call out the winner. You're predicting something and you just look dumb. I just don't understand. I've never seen it in boxing. This is the first time I've seen it in UFC where you're calling out somebody before the fight. So what, I still forgive my ignorance. I've never seen that. What was that about?
So I attribute it to man, the only thing that comes to mind is when this guy said he talked to God. God told him that something was gonna happen, and then I was saying no, it's not whatever. And then that's the only thing I can kind of line it up with,
You know what, Walt? I agree with you. When you say you talk to him, and then normally when you do, I mean, he's not a genie. He doesn't grant wishes. But when it doesn't happen, you have to accept that it didn't happen also too, and then backtrack. You cannot backtrack when you say you asked God for something for your player to show up on the court and never showed up the whole series. And at one point it was game 3. The next time it was game 5. He's definitely going to be back for sure, and never showed up.
Oh, here we go. All right, we're not talking about me. We're talking about the fight, guys.
No, so look, he obviously, put his foot in his mouth. He thought it was going to go one way. He was probably rooting for that because that was the best probably course of action for him. Because he probably thought, I can take Alex, right? Whatever. And so
make money.
And make money. So I think that's obviously what it was. And it just didn't go that way.
All right.
Yeah.
Our final buzzer. You can ask us anything about anything. This is your chance to get your comments out. I appreciate everything. And let's go to them. Jeff says, managers only allow pitchers to throw more than 100 pitches in a game. If even that much lately, it's been closer to 75, 85 pitches. Yeah. But I feel like, Jeff, he was in such a zone that how could you take this guy out? This guy only gave up one hit. You guys agree?
Yeah. Like I said before, it's up to the skipper, aka manager, whatever title you want to call him. Walk up to the mound. He knows when someone's fatigued and had it. Even though their mouth says, no, I got it. That's their job, their instinct to know that. And then, Jeff, like I said before, it's the analytics, brother. Just like you said, 75 to 85 pitches. When he gets close to that, there's someone that they paid to make sure they know exactly how many. And he made a call. So he's like, nah, let him say.
You agree, Walt?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
All right. Erica, in baseball today, pitch count holds a higher value than innings. Yeah, it 100% does.
Which is unfortunate, I think.
Remember when Jones wasn't even on the card, and the comments about the fourth person on card were disgusting and embarrassing. Yep. Dana White's going to regret not signing John Jones, dude. Your money man was gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it to revival mode. Whatever. Yeah. All right. That concludes our show for today.
Hold on, brother. So I remember I posed this question earlier. No one really chimed in. So what do you think on Canyon Road here? As a fan, who do you think should be allowed on the float to be in the parade with him?
I say Spike Lee.
Okay. All right. Why? Why Spike?
He's just been a diehard his entire life, and I feel he deserves something. And definitely the players. I guess poor Pat Ewing deserves it more than anybody.
Yeah,
you
John
know.
Starks. How about
John
you,
Starks doesn't deserve it. He threw all those bricks against Houston. He don't deserve nothing. he don't deserve. He don't deserve nothing.
Oh my!
What about you, Walt?
I would probably have to say it's those diehard fans, right? So I think obviously, Spike Lee has to be on there. I would say you have to mix it up a little bit. You need
we have a Spike Lee. There you go.
All right, Ainsley. Thank you, brother, for chiming in, Gene. Thank you. Yep.
Oh, have a good one. My man said Danhausen. Wow, putting the curse on the Spurs. That would be amazing. If Danhausen was on that float, I would crack up. That is priceless. You know what, Jeff? That deserves a super applause. That is hysterical. He came up there and cursed the team like he's been doing. Oh, my God, that's hysterical.
Yeah, well, I think we all have the general consensus. Spike Lee has been resident as far as being a Knicks fan, traveled to all the games, invested close to over, a couple $1 million also too with the franchise through the years. He's been there, the good and the bad, and he definitely deserves to be on the float. Of course, we've seen a lot of fans as far as like celebrities there at the games, but Spike has been through all of it. So 100%, if they allow one, that is the guy. And he's going to be at the parade anyway, like whether they let him on the float or not. So,
Oh, my God. Maurice says Mark Jansen, Spike, and Ewing. I agree with all those. No, John Starks. I'm good. All right. That's it. All right. Listen, thank you, guys. I'm going to let Walt say his parting shouts. Go ahead, my friend.
Hey, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Once again, tell a friend to tell a friend. We wouldn't be nothing without you, our fans and listeners. We appreciate you. If you want to learn more about payroll, tune into It's About Payroll. You can learn about financial literacy, paycheck stuff, all that fun stuff. Thank you.
All right. And I'm going to let Max say this, but before I let Walt go too, I want to wish a happy birthday to my mother-in-law, Amelia. Happy birthday, Mom. God bless you. She is smart like me, and she's a Lakers fan as well. So God bless you. She's a big Pau Gasol fan. God bless you, Mom. Love you. Happy birthday to you. You deserve it. I believe we will be back next year. All right. Mac, you say your goodbyes, my friend.
No problem at all, America. As usual, I want to give a special shout out to every father or stepdad or uncle for this coming Sunday. It is Father's Day.
Yes, happy Father's Day, brother.
Yes, happy Father's Day. We always get the Lowe's gift cards. However, take the time to really think about what your dad or whoever.
And why are we always barbecuing? We're doing work on Father's Day.
Why are we doing work? The ladies don't on Mother's Day. But I just want to make a special shout out. My dad has been gone close to 15 years now, so I always think of him on this day. And to my brother who unfortunately passed away as a father because he has a daughter and a grandchild. So for me, it will be a special day overall. So I just want to make a special shout out to all those who may be gone. Have fond memories of your dad. And those are the moments that sustain and make you laugh and smile. As usual, Garvin's Getaways. If you have any needs for travel, as far as whether it be cruise, land, whatever service made that you want to travel to, she can assist you. And shout out to Lonnie Best as well, the music artist we're promoting here. Other than that, please like, share, tell a friend of Boink Studios.
That is it, my friend. Thank you guys for watching again. Another great episode of Rate Sports and Slams. I do want to reiterate to wish everybody a happy Father's Day. All the fathers out there, enjoy your day. I'm going to enjoy a nice day with my family, my daughters. We're going to have a nice day. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, share, subscribe, boinkstudios.com. We'd be nothing without you guys. You guys are what we do. You guys make our show complete. So I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support. You will see us next week. Same bat time, same bat station. Boink Studios, Monday at 6. Have a good night.